Axtmg. Nongshim Red Force.
Thriving over towards Hatin. We're on board with AX and Nongshim Red Force in the ruins.
Scrambling to grab themselves some bits and bobs to fight with. Nongshim Red Force taking a bit of a dink towards the backside as well. DBS is in play. They start to make their move. This is real rough as well for Power, Blank. I mean, down to just one man left standing already. I know I was hyping him up a little bit, kind of a fan favorite for the crowd, but that is not a dream start whatsoever.
And 4 thrives, 3 eliminations, 4 players still up and kicking. And they will be kicking Power out from Hatin going forward. On the other hand, Nongshim Red Force taking a fair bit of damage. AX currently looking a lot more healthy here compared to them. Controlling on the outside of ruins right now. A little bit tough when you get on the back foot here, especially in terms of meds. A lot of these rooms do get cut off, and AX is starting to increase their domain within the ruins itself.
The opportunity to play with, though. Some weapons established there. Henry in the back line. With the DBS on deck as well, waiting for the close range. A little bit of scouting, keep your distance. No overcommit. They're aware of each other.
This could be good, though, for Team Falcons. Of all teams, actually. Head up towards that north side. We know that Ralph does like to scout out towards ruins in the first place, and with the circle going over towards the east, if you can cut out 2 teams from ruins, you open up a very consistent, easy path over towards Painan. Here's a replay coming through of all the action that went down over towards Hatin. It was a rough and tumble of a start there for Power.
Yeah, brutal on the replay, catching the highlights from that one actually for Power Gaming. Mid-looting, quick to the draw, just able to make the play on it. Always the chance for maybe a little bit of acclamation if you can stay alive. But 1 player in the opening moments, first 15 seconds, yeah. Not the sort of sight that you'd like to see.
Ooh, nice.
Beautiful peek on it, Blank.
Yeah, good catch. Very, very good catch. And again, to be honest with you, AX, with the amount of control they've had throughout the entirety of this fight, they want to conclude this soon. They know they need to go towards that eastern side where our circle popped.
Equal trade so far. Looking to close the gap with DBS, but the quick burst back over, looking pretty good actually. These trades though, so messy. Either side taking heavy hits, looking to see if they can convert. DBS just spamming out the shots. Need to play medic, get Henry back on his feet. Got the elevated fight, wide swing out on the corner, drop down into it. And there you have it. Come out on top in the end. He can make his passage safely. The solo head count, obviously, Scotting with.
It's a really, really nice start. And Sandhawk is particularly good for this, Jackie, where you're able to get a big lead at the start of the day just because it encourages one team to take control of the match. That was a nice step out from Borizin, honestly. But Devotee, the reaction speeds on that were insane.
It's a good start for this teammate as well, the way they've read it. You play off the back of the nade into the peaks. You've got to force them into the fight. It's a good engagement, actually. Like, impressive stuff. They've been playing a relatively passive game rather than the hot drop that we saw to start off with, but rotations have been all right. The teamwork looked pretty good. Rough on the move here, though. Limited cover to work with and influence rage. They take the peak up and do get the shot back over.
If it's quite honest, like it has been hard for them. There hasn't been too many areas to jump in. I mean, Arian will get ahead here.
Actually had the backline this whole time, by the way. He's been slowly making his move in, right? He's rocked up, found influence rage and made the play. Oh, easy.
Fair play. Fair play.
2 Elim points. Can't actually turn your nose up at that, Blank.
No, you can't.
Let's see if he does any more. I'm rooting for him. I'm joking around.
Hey, I mean, he outlived 4 thrives, though, so
it's really not that bad, considering that could have been literally like a 0.
But for DRX, I do think that they have some very, very strong players on side, some very storied players on side. I mean, Hyunbin's been around for many, many years and has always been quite successful, and that's a good way to start things out. For South Korea,
it's going to be just one of those things of we got to be able to get to see more from them before we start putting our faith in them.
Well, we've been talking about Sandhawk. We wanted just to do a quick Jackie for the first Erangel.
Oh, yeah. We'll run it right back, 7. No one will even know. They'll think it's the...
Honestly, It's going to be difficult to get back together. There's potential that Su can take some vehicles, take a boat back around towards them, but by then you have...
Been just off the back like, oh, we're seeing some crazy gun skill. They're keeping you guessing a little bit, which at times, thriving in the chaos, can be incredibly beneficial. Seems like non-ship Red Force taking a knock there, though. We've got a bit of a follow-up as well, with AX getting thrown into the fight. Falcons, of course, here having a whole load of shrapnel thrown towards them. Narvalo is down. Still in a position where he could tuck around the back of the stairs and be saved at least. Arian trying to just throw out some bullets to keep them guessing. Does he actually want to push up? It's a nice nade over towards where Koa is. Can cook this one perfectly. Chuck it in top.
Ooh, it's pretty nice actually, yeah. And his eyebrows raise and are visible to E Arena. Falcons somehow make their way in front of AX here, which is nice, and managing to take out their opposition. But what a disgusting circle this is. All lake, all field. Fireflux currently holding down towards Vision and 4Thrive, so even if one of those teams gets away with their life, they're still going to have to deal with shots coming through. Fish are actually able to sneak on past using that ridgeline on the west towards the roadside to make that happen.
Nade after nade. It's good damage. AX being able to find opportunities to fight on their terms in both matchups we've seen today. Going for the full crash as well. The Rhino maneuver with the vehicles over the top side, hitting heavy onto the Falcons. Now Valo at least with the reply back, good for one.
No.
The nade on top of the team. Oh, Henry goes down and so do the Falcons. Third squad to exit stage left. It's in a massive cool off as well. Over on the side of Yangon Galacticus, considering how impactful they were with that opening game. But let's dial in here with Alpha 7. Mafioso, clean connection over the top side.
Wow.
AX giving as good as they get. And fair play to them. It's actually been impressive how good they've looked in terms of the amount of pressure that must be on this squad. You've got to deliver. Full commit on this. Push up with the DBS. Oh, it's clean for the first, but the bite back with the moves. Ravo starting to really bring the heat towards them. You've got nades running in from the side as well. Alpha 7 with a lot of targets on them.
Ravo canonically...
And we've been obviously sort of touting, 4Thrives, they're in a good spot. If AX were able to find an opportunity to get the drop on them here, sort of pick them to pieces from the sidelines with the scout setup they've got, it could be a bit of a change.
Side of the circle over towards AX or Influence Rage.
Yeah, it's been good shots, but it's the fact that they're not really being fully able to convert off the back of it with the cycling of those knocks being really just stalemated. Henry here. You get the POV from the man spamming over towards the side. Good split as well from the backside. Sleepy still gets the tag back in. That's an instantaneous shot onto Henry. And they really do just take him out instantly. Good read of the lay of the land as well. So Arian's trapped behind the vehicle. Bullets coming in from the side. 4Thrive still trying to keep themselves in.
Tried to edge his way down towards 4Thrives, but was immediately shut down there. Henry, I think, was on 12, and no one's currently taking shots. Binny and Tizzy are currently encapsulated in smoke. One goes
in Maine. Yeah, you've got 3 days of group stage, but the teams only played 2 of those days, a total of 12 games. 3 are already gone. With the point race being as close as it currently is, I know they're in 12th place, I should say, but they can easily jump right up with how close it is, all about positioning into stage 2.
Absolutely. For the Falcons, they came into this tournament obviously as the winner of their region, coming in from Europe and qualifying through there. They won via a smash ruling. So if you want to take a look at that, make sure you go and check it out. But not yet, because we've still got more game to play. Unfortunately, it felt like
John Allen.
the tables keep on turning.
I appreciate your freedom units, baby.
Absolutely. But they would be absolutely streets ahead of everybody else in this lobby if they could bring up those averages. I always give this comparison, right? You can look to earn 12 more points in one match, or you can look to earn 1 more point in 12 matches. And it is if you could do that every single time consistently, that will build up to the same result. Sure, you can look for those 18 elim chicken dinners.
Yes.
Or you can look to put everybody still on this mad dash. Falcons, Alpha 7, still safe from one another for the time being, right next door to each other on the tables as well. We'll see if they can conclude it. Axtmg moving in from the east side slow with Team Secret on their south edge.
Yeah, Team Secret's right next to him. I'm sure this fight, potential shots from Axtmg, which surely are going to be coming through. far as Axtmg go. Where do they really go?
Right now,
Crazy rotate.
on our minimap, we're looking at Team Secret towards DRX, depending. Or they could just hold in this longhouse, hold in this compound on the edge of the circle, wait for E-Arena to try and make some moves, or Alpha 7, very unlikely that they move out from their spot right now with how central they are. It is only, of course, stage 3. So they are going to be looking to try and hold only on 3 points on the match.
I don't care.
The placements aren't quite there. Carrillo with the roll-up. Who, by the way, are still surviving as a duo.
From E-Arena, who continues to be a thorn in the side of Alpha 7.
And nades keep on going through.
Or it's easy, right, at times to get tunnel vision and just continue to fire down and lose your line of sight. Keep your head on a swivel, though. He absolutely does that. For DRX, I don't know how this fight even ended up unfolding. It's kind of awkward at the moment, but I tell you what, for the solo of Axtmg, he's given it to the duo of DRX just up ahead. And well, at this point, right, if you're a solo, you're going for survivability, you're going for any points you can. Basoa says enough is enough. I want to get the finish, but I'm not able to get it, actually. Devo T gets to clean up and somehow, some way, still swimming, still staying alive, and takes down DRX by himself.
He will have the assist of Team Secret. Off on the way there were those off-angle shots coming on through a huge side. They are fairly alone, fairly isolated as the final
situations, but every single time you drop into Erangel, Sandhawk, Miramar, you can't expect the same result that happened in the previous maps.
Absolutely not. I also think that there's several factors that come into play when it comes to the it depends side of the argument. One, the length of the
well, who's off in the distance, and they're third partying, so there's no safety net. There's no way to feel comfortable, even if you're trying to peek out a window, because well, E-Arena is looking to gun you down. For Team Vision, still scouting, still thinking, how can we get involved in this next stage? Well, there's your answer, and they got to go forward. Now, for DRX, once again, they have to relocate. When we started off the narrative, DRX was in a great spot, but every single stage shift, they've had to rotate up. And now the job gets even more difficult because you got to go through Weibo. You've got to go through another roster, of course, of Nogsham Red Force, who is now getting third squash in map number 5. Finally, Vision gets active onto the team of Axtmg. This has been boiling for some time. Vision was just on the outside looking in. Axtmg effectively held them back. Vision then went for a bit of a reset, but now it's no longer time to sit onto the sidelines. It's time to push up because this compound is valuable and both teams want it.
It's also a chance for Power to third party if they want to try and find that engagement, but E-Arena are just around the corner as well. Power are too split right now to go for this full force, and the fight hasn't really set off right now. Engaging at this stage could just draw Team Vision into that backfill counter. That might be a tough time, but Vision now look to be committed onto the inside of the compound. They've moved 2 players on in, but they have disengaged. The game given away a little bit by an early third party from Power on the north side.
Marcelo, he's the one with the offing. You got to question who's going to be looking his way. And Henry actually looks the opposite, so I think he's going to be the... Oh, you know what? He's even going to have a teammate. So this is a decent push as far as I'm concerned. Power, though, you mentioned that third party. They are hinting at it. They want to, but I believe it's going to be Nalif up top from Team Vision who's keeping them back so they don't get too overzealous. But that means he's going to be out of play, and now you got the Vision members who have to try and finish off the remainder of this Axtmg roster who has 3 members. So it's going to be a good old-fashioned 3v3. The thing is, the longer this extends, the more opportunity for Power to move up, maybe even another roster to third party. And then at the end of the day, worst case scenario, you both end up cannibalizing each other. And then now you got to fight the rest of the roster with a solo or a duo. But either way, the fight must happen, and the fight continues.
The next circle just about to pop, and it will move away from the compound, meaning that this fight doesn't necessarily need to happen now. It could be a disengage, and I feel like that's exactly what Vision may have been looking for there. They might be able to find some exit frags, but they can disengage now. They just needed to keep Axtmg busy. They kept Power busy on the north side, but Marcelo charging in. They're changing their tune once more. Never Alone also breaking out with a bold push to an open wall. Was in a lot of danger there.
Of the roster of 4, No Fear trying to take him out. Finally, Vision as well as Axtmg start to unfold. Henry is down, Bolt swings wide, takes down yet another member. The cleanups are in, I believe. 1 solo remains. I don't know where that Axtmg roster, or excuse me, it's Aaron. He's going to be off in the distance to the south of Vision. The question is, why was he so far away and not helping his roster? Because based off of what I'm seeing, he had a beautiful off angle, but he had 0 effect.
I think there just wasn't those sight lines available available to him. It's
Axtmg!
quite impactfully in those early engagements, especially when you're all dropping on that high ground mountain on the Northwest Island. And yeah, it's just not going to go Alter Ego's way this time around. They will try and push further. We spoke a lot yesterday about the bubble. We're still seeing it probably going to fall around that 80-point boundary. And of course, Alter Ego at 78, very, very close to that already. And we're still expecting that to be the case. The question is, where can everybody else go? Out of this set of 16 teams, we're expecting between 4 and 5 of them to be able to make it in through towards the top 8 of the bracket. It seemed like a fairly solid lock.
The Edge Keeper team, most likely going to have to continue to go a bit further south, but in the meantime, keeping R8 in check off of the distance, just on the outside of Paradise. For Axtmg, another roster.
Like AJ's just trying to survive as long as possible. IDA did manage to keep their south side of this one. This is mostly in part to Alpha Gaming.
He goes forward. Doc, you got to be ready for this. He sniffs it out. He clears the corner. Just a sliver of hell for Axtmg, and he holds on tight. Can't get the finish. But
quietly executing the northwestern side of that circle.
Because you can have 2 teams in that compound. You can have one south of the road, which is IDA, and one north of the road, which is going to be there.
They knew that IDA was actually there, then yes, but at the same time,
They're going to be coming through on that bridge, so potentially a little bit of a wild card in play here. They could go for an aquatic approach to the mainland too.
looking at Alpha 7 rotating down. IDA just next to him. R8's going to be onto the backside of Revo. That's going to be tightly contested depending on where they decide to stay. I expect Alpha 7 to hug the edge of the zone, which is what they're very, very comfortable with doing. But I agree with you, Weibo, loving it. We do have Axtmg rolling up. We got Falcons on your screen. Narvalo looking to put in a little bit of work. Henry cooking a nade, so you have to assume this fight most likely is going to be going down. You want to take out Axtmg. You have Strex, who's already going to be out of the way. Narvalo repositioning. This fight may be disengaging. Falcons might want to get out of here. Axtmg says, come back. We actually want to fight this. We're ready.
I mean, this is the scrap for the shelter area for the hill that overlooks Milta and access towards places like the roadblock that sits on the northwest side of Milta. So potential to get a lot from this position, but as soon as it's contested, it gets sluggish, it gets slow. And it looks like these two teams are going to divide themselves from one another and just stay at arm's length. So survival definitely at the forefront of their minds.
Something to think about in the future. Weibo, we did compliment that they were on the military side. If they do have to go up towards mainland, look at that bridge now. You've got IG, who's just next to it. You
can check out the map feed over on the YouTube channel. Make sure you're checking that one out to make sure you're up to date, seeing where everyone's going at all times. Alpha Gaming losing Doc, though. That's in a fairly pivotal position. That's over in Milta, as Thunder Talk are going to look to push across.
Yeah, Thunder Talk getting active. Good to see that from them. They've obviously been a very talented roster towards the top echelon.
As the circle puts pressure on, are they going to chase or are they going to try and keep things together and go for a different approach? Meanwhile, Alter Ego trying to push over towards Axtmg as they disengage from Thunder Talk. They put themselves into another sightline, and it will be on this top side of the hill. The nade in from Krypton, but no one's going down just yet.
They've got to make a decision. If you're Alter Egos, you've got Axtmg to your north, you've got Thunder Talk to your south, you've got to crash in on one, and it looks like it's going to be Axtmg. If you can disengage from this, you just got to full send it directly into the middle of the zone. Depot T cannot take down Rosemary. Mind you, update, we do lose Intense Game. Our first team, by the way. With how chaotic these zones have been, I am surprised we are just now losing only one team. Back on board with Henry up close. He goes down. Alter Egos need this win. They need to recover from the rough game number one that they had, and they're doing exactly that in sensational style.
They slipped the pin, and Alter Ego managed to get around to the other side of Axtmg. With Rosemary down, another as well, down on bended knee. They'll need to try and pick it up.
Once that fight finally concludes, usually doesn't end very well.
Crawling on over. Now Axtmg, they flexed out. They're moving on up. Trying to take the fight, but immediately that's Falcons actually taking shots out towards the north. They've been inside there. Fortunately, it felt pretty, but it didn't end up that way.
Well, for Thunder Talk, they walk away with only one player alive, but give them credit where credit is due, 8 eliminations. They've done fairly well this game in the elimination category, and now for the remaining solo, his job is to stay alive. We focus our attention on eArena, who takes down IG with quick fashion. In this game, only one player up. APG taking some shots onto Benny from the distance, and Weibo able to recover, and that's going to be big news for them. I thought the curtain was closed. They've got to find a way to break their way through the defensive setup of Falcons in a hardcover POI. In my opinion, I think it's going to be
an eArena make the crossing, but at the cost of half their roster and a hell of a lot of time.
Noxium Red Force now pushing up. You've got AXT.
Came into this one. You said you were looking at horror?
That's it.
Do you know who I said I was looking at?
You didn't say anybody.
I said Weibo.
Oh, you did? Well, you said it because Maxman said it.
No, I said it because he said it at the start of the day, and I believed him. I agree. Just because I agree with something Maxman says, I know it doesn't happen. No, it actually happens like all the time. It's crazy. He knows what he's talking about. Well, but I feel like they have got a chance here.
I think so.
Noxium Red Force.
Okay.
They haven't managed to see him. Uh-oh.
One still alive. One still alive, one looking to thrive, and finally eArena are gone down top 3. Axtmg, Weibo knocks to a break. When we come back, game 4 coming your way.
Bait to get that free ride over towards finals. This is alter ego, actually.
Points, though, there's still a chance, mate, and it's looking better today. I will say that. I think there is definitely a good air in there for them. You know, they've got that second wind.
I think for Ida in particular, right? The thing for them is that I've always classed them as an up-and-comer squad. They have some very young players on side. It's not easy always playing. They try and rotate down. The remainders of AX move to the fields, just on the north side, pick up a compound to play inside of. This area of the map can hold quite a few.
AX as well. Back-to-back games where it's been very uncomfortable for them in terms of the isolated fights they've had to work their way through. 3 players alive for now, at least. It's Henry up.
Down to 60 in the chamber.
I think you're right with that. That's the bigger issue, right? Because obviously if he continues to commit to this isolated angle, we could at least guard from Alpha 7 on the move up, but you're starting to run low on the or egos. They handle that one with ease, it seems. Ooh. That's a
suck so far.
You do not want to leave that fate up to another team. Take destiny into their own hands right now, though, to dive in onto AX up close with the DBS, showing us they can wield
towards the ditch there. Very nadeable. Devotees close to it.
Into the shallows. Here you go. This is why they split up. As soon as they catch whiff of potential for the elims, they start to dive in. Wave goodbye to Thunder Talks, and Alpha look to claim more from this.
They're just about make it. From points alone, I think that is Regnum Kaya now out. 9th place. Weibo making it in off the back of this. A real fortification in both mind and spirit to get through. Join Thunder Talks in that finals. What a result for PEL.
An intense game. They thought they were going to crash in, rip away the dreams from Ida. It did not go that way. They were the Sandman on that one, and you're put to sleep from the sidelines of AX. Living on borrowed time in this one, but from the setup and consistency we have seen, it's Weibo that are looking to close it. Order has been popping off. Last 2 squads remain free on either side.
I mean, Weibo will get a good chunk of change off the back of this one as well. If they can finish this out, it will be a nice result for the special invite and AX as well if they're able to finish off with a chicken dinner. And again, we talked about this team starting slow on day 1, coming into day 3 and feeling a little bit sluggish as well. Finishing off on a chicken dinner will reignite that team. Give them the motivation, that little bit of inspiration to play on in that survivals. Find success.
You've got to take it into your own hands now, though. Show us what you're made of.
Ooh!
Nitro down into the back line. The blow on Order hits heavy. Ordnance in front of him as well as he's trying to reposition on the knock. You're able to peek in from the side, convert onto that one fully. So the pressure starting to build now for Weibo. AX in a good spot on the push-up.
33Z. E up to the plate. Devo T on this sideline. This off angle has been absolutely sublime. Running out of bullets. The resources running low. S12K in the hand, just spraying it at range and makes it happen. The shells hit eventually, but he is down. And somebody's got to stand up.
Got the wrap in from the side as well. 33Z, last man in a position to try and snatch this away and take it home for Weibo off the back of what's been a big game from them, but it's a 1v2 would need to be a clutch. No opportunity to play off. He's out of position, tuck in behind the car, bullets around the corner. He gets one. The DBS rattles off on the edge. He's trying to straight into this as well. The drop down below the car. He's ready for it on the peak, and it's enough to steal it.
Arian able to get that game going from the end, and AX will finish it off with it. Get themselves into the top 8. They're happy. AX is happy. Ida striking off the Turkish Titans and Regnum Kaya and bringing them down to the survival stage. It's Alpha 7.
New eliminations, 80 grand on the line for it. They make it work. Not a false start. A great set of games. Evels. We know how things are looking. The squad's going to survival. And the teams that get a watch on, waiting, knowing they've achieved victory for themselves. Join us for the breakdown after this.
As Blank and Jackie were saying, Alpha 7's not going to be making it straight to Grand Finals. They're going to be going to survival stage. Alter Ego, Neptura. What a performance by this team. Not the exact same of what we saw out of their day one, but doing just enough to